Welcome to another episode of Keys to the Streets. I am your host, Bobby Penn, hanging out here with my girl, Key, all the way to the ATX. How you doing, Key? Baby, I don't hear a thing.
Serious? Are you serious?
There
You
you
don't hear
go.
me?
Now I hear you.
Okay, so I was really just talking and you heard nothing.
See,
Anyways, I said, and I'm up on it. You don't see me, girl? We
I
good?
see you and I hear you now. We in that
Okay,
thing.
perfect. Okay, we in there. But yeah, I just said I've been busy, girl, working, hella projects. So got some things going, some NDAs. So some things I can talk about, most things
Come
I
through
can't.
NDAs. It's the legal agreements for me.
You know.
Okay, so you were telling me a fun fact about cows. First of all, I love animals. Hearts to animals. What was you just saying about cows?
Okay, so I didn't know you were going to ask me about that again, and I'm still pretty sad about it. And it didn't make it any better that the cows on the picture were red. So, red cows are
Red.
heifers. So I was like, two little heifers. But basically,
Are you describing us?
I mean, so cows have best friends and get stressed when they are separated. This was some study that
Oh
was
my
done.
god,
And we
that's
be
so
separating
precious.
them, girl.
We sure do, because I love me some oxtails. I love a good burger, a little extra
I want
chargrilled on
cheese on
it.
mine.
Period. Okay, so shout out to the cows. I love y'all for loving each other, and I even love y'all more when you're on my plate.
Okay.
All right,
So
girl.
unserious.
So freaking unserious. As was this voyage to space, the Blue Origin. How do
11
you
minutes.
feel about that?
11
11
minutes.
minutes in space. What do
How
you
much did
think
that
about that?
cost? That's what I want to know. I want to know how much it cost.
I want to know how they chose the people. I only know about it because I only know about it because Gayle King was among the people that went up there, and I don't know the other people. I didn't even recognize Katy Perry.
Yeah, so I know the other black woman. I think she's a scientist, or
The
like
only one
venture
that should have been
cap.
up there, her. Okay.
Right, a venture capitalist. But at the same time, yeah, I wonder like what club were they in to be picked together? What was the criteria?
Like, period. How did you get to go? And what was the point? So Gayle King, first of all, went viral yesterday for her picture of herself when they were ringing the bell, like checking in, if you would. Literally, all the other women were smiling and excited about it. Gayle looked stressed. So there were a lot of me clocking in the work memes, and I don't know, child. So why were they even there? Gayle King got on her CBS Mornings platform this morning and just said that it was very disrespectful for us to trivialize this amazing voyage. If it was men, we wouldn't call it a ride. We would call it a journey. We would call it a voyage. So yeah, y'all was up there for just 11 minutes and came right back to this. I don't know.
Yeah, I'ma just I can't even lie. Gail King and the memes, like they did it for me. Everyone was so fun. So I'm just, I'm not gonna trivialize it. So yeah, we gonna let Gail King make it. But it did look like sis had to adjust. She was in the
Baby,
mid adjustment.
it was the look on her face that was given. I don't know about this. Like, she was clearly visibly second guessing it. But again, I'm glad that they went, had a safe trip. There was some video footage that came out. You could see them defying gravity. Again, Katy Perry was showing us flowers. I guess it was like in honor of her daughter's name or something like that. So yeah, I think
Girl.
the Blue Origin is a Jeff Bezos production. So yeah, it
So
was a
very rich white men and their, fancy toys. But I mean, I gotta give it to Gail. She very much gave. Today has drained me.
yes, that's what her face looked like, child. Bless her heart. And then, okay, once they came back to the ground, Katy Perry caught some shade. And
Yes.
Wendy's came for Katy Perry for some reason. When she got off of the space flight, she kissed the ground. And Wendy's child, they said, "Can we send her back?" Now, wait a minute. Why would they play
Like,
Katy like that?
Like, where did it come from? Like, I didn't even know Wendy's and Katy was beefing like that, but obviously.
Do white people not like Katy Perry anymore, y'all? Because that's my girl. I ain't gonna lie. I've seen Katy Perry live. Easily one of the greatest live shows I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating at all. She's really
Really?
a performer. Yes. So I'm just really
Okay.
surprised that people don't like her anymore. What happened?
Well, we are very much in the age of fake rage. So, girl, it could be anything at this point. We ain't keeping up. If it comes down to my culture and theirs, I'm gonna keep up with mine. So, I don't know. I don't really mind white people business.
Listen, Kenta Brunson was on a podcast recently, and she pretty much said the same thing. Listen, if they're not a white person in comedy, I don't know them. So, on that note, let's go ahead and pay this dust. Thanks for stopping in. All right.
But
So
yes, what's
we
good?
we also saw some great highlights this weekend from Coachella. We can't skip over the music girlies. All right.
You're right. You're right. You go. Because I know you really wanted to get into our girl. So I'm gonna let you
Well,
have
I
it.
do, but before I get to the highlight, because there was one standout performance out the whole show. Before I lead up to that, I do want to shed some light on Missy Elliott. Okay, Missy had her headlining performance at Coachella, and of course, she did her big one. She's always been just so creative, such a genius when it comes to visual effects and bringing her music to life. And she came out for her set as a transformer. So she came out as like a little car, and then she popped out, and then she was like a person. And I think it was just so cool to see hip hop, especially women in hip hop, truly be artists and not just sex symbols. And again, nothing is wrong with it, baby, because we will get to that later in this segment. But Missy is truly an icon, and I'm glad that she got her flowers. I actually got to see her at Essence, I think like 5 years ago. She was the headliner. That was my first time ever seeing Missy live, and she had trampolines all across the stage, and just like literally, it was like going to the circus or like Cirque du Soleil. So she got to do her big one out at Coachella, which usually I think of Coachella is like a young people's event. But they had a nice amount of little, I'm gonna call them throwbacks. I hope y'all don't mind. I love my legends, but
Like
I feel like that was a throwback.
they had a good little mix. And on to Missy, I'd actually seen her perform. She had a concert, or yeah, I think she might be still coming off of her tour, and that might have been like the ending of her tour.
That makes
But
sense.
yeah, I saw her I think it was like last summer. I went with a friend, and we had great seats, and it was just an amazing performance. And I mean, I just was in awe of Missy, because I'm like Auntie ain't no spring chicken. Like, she dances
Exactly.
the entire set, and like the outfit, like costume changes. And sis might be on. And then when I saw her, she brought out Sierra, she brought out Busta. But it was just like, it was an amazing performance. And I love Missy, and I love that like the men are giving her flowers. Like Lil Wayne said, like Missy's his favorite artist ever. And I'm like, I love that, because everybody loves Wayne, but I'm like, sis pen is lethal, and she's
Crazy.
still been
Yes.
writing for J. Cole, and writing like just the different, like she wrote for Total for so long, Aaliyah, 702. Like, she was the pen behind a lot of the 90s girlies, and to still be relevant, I love that for her.
Same, same. And T-Pain got his flowers this weekend. He performed at Coachella for the first time. And I feel like T-Pain is another one of those ones that has been slept on. First of all, I remember what summer was that? Like summer 2014, T-Pain did his Tiny Desk. And that was the first time people were like, wait a minute, without auto-tune, this dude can actually sing. And I feel like here in 2025, we're really seeing he can perform too. He really be bringing the energy.
Yeah.
So there's a video, I wasn't able to pull it up, but there's a video of him twirling across the stage, y'all, just truly in his element, the definition of Black Boy Joy. And it's just something about T-Pain that you can't hate Teddy Pain. Teddy Pin down. Like, you can't hate him. So
Yeah, I
I'm
remember
glad.
when he first came out, I honestly wasn't a fan. Not for I just couldn't get with the auto tune. But then I think, I would say maybe like album 2 or 3, he started just kind of showing, the genre bending, and he would do some, songs, or just kind of show different. like sides of him outside of the auto tune, and I was like, okay, so there's something there, and I think he's continued to do that. And he also write for other people too. So like shout out to T Pain. I'm glad he finally got to get the set, and he even talked about that after being 20 years, and he's glad he stuck with it. I think he also is a testament to just always being so positive. Like anybody could have been up there being made like y'all owe me this. I mean, honestly, rightfully so. In some way, could have felt very valid. But T Pain, I've just seen so many moments where he always is going to look at the silver lining and take like the positive route. Even when he said they sent Neo his checks by accident, he saw how much Neo was making, like a joke.
Okay, so Neo has a song out. I think it's new right now. I think he has 2 songs out right now. There is one song where I'm listening and I'm like, he sounds like the perfect blend between T-Pain and Jeremiah. So it's something about that era. They don't make the male vocalists like they used to. And again, I'm happy that T-Pain had his moment, baby. He deserves it. He's really like an icon for real. And he's killing it in like the streamer bag, by the way, if you didn't
Yeah,
know
I was
that.
gonna say that he's like now gotten into gaming.
Yes. Okay. So, I had to give everybody else their flowers so I could get to my moment. Megan the Stallion. I love Megan. In my eyes, she can do no wrong. And I know it's people that can't stand sis. And I hate that for y'all because she's hella talented as well. She came out, Body is T. Do you hear me? Let's clock it. Body is T. She has been in the gym working out. She came out, I think she had like 3 costume changes for her set. And she just really was serving it up. Red curly tundrals. She had like a rock star moment where she hit a full split and was doing like the Dutty Wine headbanger stuff. So really great set in terms of performance. The vocals were on key. She had some great mashups in terms of the music, and she brought out some special guests. So she first brought out Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah did UNITY, which I thought was very poignant for the time that we're in. Definitely bridged the gap between old school and new school. And again, I love seeing multiple generations, the diverse type of people that support and love Megan. So that was cool to see. And then she also brought out Sierra, and Megan got to live every millennial teen's dream to do the goodies dance on stage with Sierra popping that thing. Okay. Good knees. Both of them got good knees. Okay. And Sierra's thighs, is that her quads? What part of the leg is that? Well, girl, the squats be squatting. Sierra's body is T. But the part that I wanted to get to, I know Key is sick of looking at this picture on the screen, but Victoria Monét is my whole wife. She doesn't know it yet. We're both Taurus women. She's my wife, and I should have been jealous, but I couldn't. I loved watching her and Megan perform Spin, and just the girl on girl of it all, the sensuality. So I wanted to highlight that moment. We had to talk about this. It's just it's so sexy. Victoria first kind of showed us her other side, if you would, during the Usher tribute at the BET Awards last year when she performed with Tiana Taylor, and I ate that up. I still watch it weekly, like it's medicine. So yeah, we need a video for Spin, y'all. If you come across this, I don't know who manages, is the publicist for Victoria Monét or Megan Thee Stallion, but we need a video for Spin, please. Would you
Yeah, that
please
is a good
deliver?
song.
It's so cute. It's so cute. So yeah. Shout out to Coachella. I've never been. Have you ever gone out there? Oh my God.
No, I haven't been to Coachella. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, like, I would say maybe in the last few years I thought about going, but yeah, it's never been like a, ooh, I have to go. But yeah, like, I feel like this one was like maybe one of the ones I felt like, dang, I may have missed out on, because
Same.
it just seemed blacker. It seemed more, multi-generational. It just seemed like a little bit for everybody. So yeah, yeah, kind of missed out on this one,
Yeah.
but I am.
I think I agree. Travis Scott was out there as well. Like people that I would have liked to have seen were out there. So, and it's always around my birthday. So maybe next year. Let's look into it for next year.
Let's do that.
All right.
Speaking of festivals and things, 420 is coming up, and of course, 420 shout out to Bobby Pin. She's a 420 baby.
It's my
So
birthday.
sweet. So this weekend is Reggae Fest in Austin. KZI, we're media sponsors. And yeah, it's gonna be lit. I love Reggae Fest. I think it's so cool how Austin is doesn't necessarily have things decriminalized all, but Reggae this weekend, it see the people out just like girl, it's so much fun. Unfortunately it falls on Easter weekend, so I mean I feel like that might be for a lot of people, and we might, people might have to choose. um,
Yeah, it's a little
I say
conflicting.
church first.
Listen, that's my plan to celebrate my birthday. I'm
But
gonna go to
he
church in the
said,
morning and turn up in the evening.
I
But
mean,
yes, in
I
the
see it
H,
for you. Happy early birthday.
thank you. In the early, oh, excuse me, coming up here in the H, we have an event series, an art showcase series by Solange Knows and her creative consulting, her creative direction company, Saint Heron, in partnership with the Houston Performing Arts. They are, let me make sure it's on the screen. Okay, it is. So yeah, they are curating a fine art show throughout June. So I think it's like 6 exhibitions at different locations, whether it's the El Dorado Ballroom, Jones Hall, or the Museum of Fine Arts. And it looks to be really promising. The news has already come out. It's in collaboration with Project Row Homes. And I want to specifically focus on that organization. They're a nonprofit that helps creatives express themselves. And they bought up like a neighborhood, like a block of homes. And every year they paint them white, and then they choose resident artists to come and literally paint from the inside out. And there are different exhibitions that you can walk through, installation art, photography, painting, and performance art. So really excited to see how Solange's touch adds to that, and we'll be, following that as it continues to load. Like I said, it's starting in June, so we got a little bit of time, but tickets do go on sale this Tuesday. So if you're in the H and this is something that you're interested in, make sure you check it out at Performing Arts Houston. All right, pull up on it. So girl, what's not so good?
Now, before we get into what's not so good, I do want to shout out Project Row Houses. Shout out specifically to Raquel, who is on the board there, as well as to Sydney, who's the curator there. Two Black women that I happen to know in the Houston art scene that are doing amazing things. And so, yes, I worked with a cultural arts company that was similar to Project Row Houses. It was just based here in Austin. So, love that intersection of nonprofit and arts advocacy. So yes, shout out to Project Row Houses. Shout out to Houston. Now,
Yes.
the not so good. I'm gonna let you. It's your city now, so I'm gonna let you talk about it. I'm gonna let you get the stats and the facts.
Don't not too much on it being my city. I mean, I do live here, and I have for the last 5 years. And up until this report, I have been proud to say so. But I really need you people here in Houston to just sit down somewhere. Go sit down. Sat down, right? Ain't that what the old heads say? Because there is no reason on God's green earth that
Sometimes,
Houston has the fastest rising rates of STIs in the entire state of Texas. Absolutely not. Unacceptable, y'all. Harris County is where, when you talk about Houston, Harris County is really what you're picturing. So that's where the clubs are. All y'all that, like, I ain't about to start naming clubs, but that's where the clubs are. You got Montrose. Every city has what's called the neighborhood. They're on the list. You have Sunnyside, which is a more economically disenfranchised community. And then you got Second Ward on here, baby. Ain't nowhere safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. So I just need everybody to sit down, like for real. What do you think about this? What do you make of this, Key? Is it y'all coming up from
you
Austin?
know,
Y'all driving in from Austin, bringing these
girl,
things?
Probably because Austin been like some freaky frogs for a long time. When when I saw that documentary on Netflix where we had like whole like nude colonies here in Austin and they were swimming like
What?
in Barton Springs pool, like you still we still have like topless nights at Barton Springs pool. We still have a nude beach up here. So yeah, girl, there might be some of the freaky frogs from Austin traveling down there, but also yeah, you gotta wrap it up. You gotta, we gotta care about our sexual health. Like I'm seeing syphilis on the list. I thought syphilis, I thought that was extinct. Like I'm
Like
like,
for
we bringing back
real.
the old school and the new school STIs. Like that is wild. And also I can't. I'm gonna probably catch some flack for this, but I've been saying for the longest that Houston is the new Atlanta, and
Mm.
I see so many of the themes there, and this is also just another one of them.
No, for real. I mean, it's very well known in what they call the lifestyle communities that this is where you come to get it popping. There was a video recently that went viral of a Caucasian woman flying in, and she did a walking tour like she was an influencer at Disney World, honey. She came in to go to a swingers party, and it's open. It's not very secretive. You got swingers, you have people that are really heavy into poly. And I'm not this the point of this report isn't to judge anybody for their um lifestyle, their choices, how they feel comfortable expressing themselves. But like you said, it is to just drive home the point that we have to protect ourselves. And I know for a fact that people don't believe in condoms in 2025.
Yeah.
I'll even go so far as to say I'm watching a show. I done stumbled across a show on OWN Network this weekend. It's the second season of a show called The Never Ever Met, right? And the premise is
Mhm.
catfish meets like Love is Blind. So it's these people who have met online and have been dating each other anywhere from 3 months to 11 years, and they've never met in person.
Oh
So
wow.
OWN flies them all out to this house, and this is where they meet and they live together for 3 weeks to see if they can work well together, right? Like I said, this is the second season, and this past weekend was just the second episode. In the second episode, Key, I need you to follow me. Not one, not two, but three of the contestants out of seven couples, three of the contestants recently had children outside of their partnership. Two of the men 6 months ago, and the one girl just gave birth a month ago and is pumping in the house, and that's why she felt the need to share it. Now, of the three people, two of those people are a couple. So the girl thought she was going to drop a bomb on him, and he like, don't even worry about it because I just had a baby 6 months ago. So they're going to try to work through it. And then there's another guy that has yet to tell his partner, his woman, that he just had a baby 6 months ago as well. So I'm saying that to say, how are these kids coming about if y'all not, using protection? So we really have to do better, y'all. I don't know when we got to the 1960s and it's free love and we didn't know what HIV was and we didn't have all of the tools and resources that we have, but we really have to do better. And it also makes me think back, you brought this up when we were doing the rundown. Tamar Braxton recently was talking about
Yeah.
how dating is in Atlanta and choosing to be on PrEP.
Yeah, the HIV preventative. And even that, I just think it also comes down to just being educated and not taking control of that education for yourself. I remember I had a friend who dated a good friend of mine, and so I was friends with both of them. And her and I, like, we would always just promote sexual health. She's a doctor now, but this is back in college. And I remember asking, like, me and my girlfriends, we were going to get tested in December. I think that's like HIV Awareness Month or something like that, or maybe it's like World AIDS Day. I think like the first or second week
December
of
1st,
December.
yeah.
So we
Mm-hmm.
were going to, just go to promote it, amongst sororities and friends and all of that. And so I was like, oh yeah, like he was an alpha. I was like, oh, you should go get tested. And he was like, nah, I know if I got something, if she got something. And I was like,
See,
what? And so I think one, like even thinking about PrEP, you can think you're trying to be preventative and proactive and you're taking this, but that still does not protect you from other STIs, and
Mm-hmm.
so there's just so many things that I say do your own research. I'm not going to say whether, it's a particular lifestyle or not. I honestly just think it's people being uninformed and putting that responsibility on other people. And
Yep.
I have been in a very, very long-term relationship and literally got my test results this week. Like I still go regularly. And it's just, you never know. And I just you can't, like, that is people's health, and decisions like that can be life altering. And I always, the sooner you know the better. So definitely, some things to think about. So while
Facts.
we might be
You
poking
only
at Houston, I say this for everyone.
Amen. Amen. No, for real. You only get one life and we have to protect it. And I'm not trying to even say it from a place of, oh, I'm perfect, but we got to be smart. We got to be smart, y'all. So I'm glad that we were able to talk about that and shed some light. Speaking of shedding light, my camera light went off. So that's why I'm off camera right now. But what's the next topic, Key? What are we talking about?
We had Marvin Sapp, too far or misunderstood. And I know, that was a topic that you presented. So, yeah, about that. Basically, Marvin Sapp had a song drop today, well, Friday, and it's called Close the Door. And, I mean, Close the Door, of course, this is a continuation of the recent press or negative press that he received, where he had asked ushers to lock the door while he was, asking for donations and additional donations. Someone recorded the audio and released that or leaked it. And then, of course, people were criticizing and scrutinizing whether or not he should be able to, you know, um, ask people, like, I think also just money has always just been a tough subject in the Black community. And I think people, like, that's still one of the just toughest topics to talk about. People don't talk about how much they make. They don't talk about how much they're getting. Girl, what are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Well, it's nice to see you again.
Hold on. I can see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you. Technical difficulties, y'all. That's crazy. Okay, child. I feel like the Wizard of Oz. I just got exposed. No lights, no fancy cameras. The background is gone, but we back. I can't hear you though. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Okay, I can't hear you.
You still can't hear me?
Speaker. Okay, heard. Say something again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there we go. That's unacceptable.
Testing, testing.
Sorry,
So you can
friend.
hear me now?
Yes, that's something about
No
that little
worries,
light.
girl.
This
I
little
was
light
good
of mine.
until you played the sound. Like your sound came on while I was talking. Like I don't know if it was the news or something. The additional, like an ad or something played, and I was
Oh,
like, wait, like I
girl.
could carry this topic, but now what we doing?
Sorry that
Can you hear me?
happened. Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you,
no
and I
worries.
closed all of those windows. So, okay. Um, yeah, we can just go have to edit.
No worries. We're
Edit
just
the
gonna have to
audio.
edit anyway.
That's crazy. Every time I feel like we be doing good, and look at the devil. Speaking of the devil, We gonna keep it pushing.
But yes, I was just touching on that. I don't think we have to do great debate, but I definitely think we can. You can provide your opinions on Marvin Sapp and his new song that dropped today. Close the door.
My opinions on Marvin Sapp. So
You're
updating you
muted.
guys on the situation, y'all. Honestly, I don't want to talk about him no more. But anyway, he went viral, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
After he asked his congregation to donate a total
Yes.
of
Yeah, I
forty
pretty
thousand
much gave the
dollars. You
backstory.
said all of that
Yeah.
already?
Mhm. I
Okay.
did.
On Good Friday, today, he will be releasing a new single called Close the Door, which is him capitalizing, and I'm choosing that word intentionally, off of his drama and controversy from the offering scandal. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. He already was, having a huge Easter service that he had been promoting around that time. But to double down on it and make a song about it, are you taunting us? What's tea? What's really going on? So that's my two
You talking
cents.
to me because I ain't giving my money. So
Never would have paid it without. So yeah.
But yes,
So
I appreciate you giving your opinion, girl, because like I said, he wouldn't talk to me because like we talked about it, I ain't giving no money. So I feel like that might be a come to Jesus moment for the people who donated and had to defend them donating only for him to drop a song that's gonna make money off them donating or not. So I'm like, either way, I feel like you've turned this into a whole revenue stream now.
yeah,
And make donations because you probably gonna clear more than 40,000. You shouldn't need it, right? I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know how that works. Again, he gotta take they gotta take that up with God and I guess the employers. But yeah, that's that on that.
Child, insane. So yeah, that's enough of that. What do you want to touch on next, friend? We're not doing a great debate, or you want to talk about it?
It's just I feel like it's too much meat on the bones for us to try and tackle that. But I feel like we can end with our final word. And our final word is about rest. And whether
Hmm.
you're religious or not, he is risen or not, you can rest this weekend. And that Black people, really learn, I don't know, like unlearn that we have to constantly be working and moving and producing. And I think that is something, a trauma that has been passed down to Black people just from, history. And I hope that we get in a place to where we can feel a peace in a way where we can be still and can rest without guilt. And so, yeah, that's what I want for us this weekend. Somebody take a nap in your name and my name, whomever's. Get some rest.
And on that note, I say, Amen. Get some rest, sit down, stay out in the streets, chill out. That's what we're doing. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Keys to the Streets right here on 88.7 FM. I'm your girl, Bobby Pin. Come wish me happy
Yes.
birthday at BOBBYPEN on all social media channels.
Hey. And of course, you can find me on all social media channels at Airless, HEIR_LESS. There you go, Bobby Pin. Happy
There we
birthday.
go. Hey, all right. Until next
Bye,
week.
y'all.
Peace.
Until next week.